NASA, ADHD, and video games is exactly the kind of weird intersection I love. NASA studied attention, stress, and engagement in pilots during flight simulations. Because if you're flying a plane or working on a spacecraft, attention is not just a productivity issue, it's a safety issue. That research helped lead to something called Extended Attention Span Training, or EAST. And eventually, that technology was connected to, of all things, PlayStation games. The system used biofeedback so that games could respond to the player's brain and body signals. If the player moved closer to the target attention state, the game got easier to control. If they got bored or distracted, the game got harder. One example they used was a racing game. Focus worked like the accelerator. Calm worked like steering. A lot of people think that attention is just willpower. Just focus harder, or try harder, or just stop getting so distracted. But attention is not that simple. Attention is affected by feedback, stress, interest, movement, environment, challenge, and whether the task gives your brain something to grab onto. I actually figured this out about myself in whitewater. I loved whitewater kayaking and canoeing because when I was in the rapids, I had to lock in. I couldn't let my brain drift. I had to read the water, I had to watch what was coming, and I had to respond in real time. And there was this wild feeling of focus, not because I suddenly became better at paying attention, but because the environment gave my brain something immediate, physical, and meaningful to respond to. The part that I find interesting about this NASA video game story. Now, to be clear, this is not me saying go play video games and your ADHD will be cured. Not all games are going to hit the brain the same way. The NASA article specifically talks about car racing, skateboarding, and other skill-based games as a better fit for the kind of attention training. And I think that makes sense. Those games give you feedback very fast. They require timing, they require control, they reward focus, and they punish zoning out almost immediately. And this is different from a giant open world game where you can wander around for 6 hours, steal a car, forget what you were doing, and somehow end up on top of a mountain. Look, I love Minecraft, I love Grand Theft Auto, and I love Call of Duty even though I'm terrible at it. This is me asking a better question. And I'm wondering what you guys think. What kind of game helps your brain lock in? So here is where I need your help. If you know video games, drop recommendations in the comments. What video games do you think fit this? Something skill-based, something with fast feedback, something where timing, calm, focus, and control actually matters? I think that we could turn this into a really useful list.